I want, if the kind of man that I was with ever tries to even look at me, he looks at me and he sees a cockroach. Just like, I want, like, it was just a really messy situation. Well, girl, obviously he was sleeping with his lesbian best friend at the time where he was also engaged and she was married. Like, yes, it was messy. What else do you think you're telling us? Like, I just don't understand how much more messier it could have been, personally. But maybe she knows something we don't know. Like, maybe the discernment, and I was just so wise. I wasn't. Now I am. But you want to know what that also came from? That simply comes from me literally praying every single day, God, give me discernment for my next relationship. Give me discernment for my next friendship. Give me discernment for my next job. God, give me discernment for any doors that I'm walking into. As much as I love my church down. Give me discernment for that too. Like, I have prayed the prayer of discernment so that this type of relationship never finds me again. I've prayed for discernment so that this type of man never finds me again. Instead of saying, I'm ready-made, girl, you better get on your knees and pray for discernment. Because telling them to come ready-made, I don't know how that's gonna pan out for you. I hope well, but I don't know. Anyway, let's truly be so freaking happy when I get a monitor so that I can stop guessing when I'm in focus. That is what I pray for. Welcome back to another episode of the Just Healing Podcast. My name is Jasmine. I am your host, your hostess with the mostest, who's ready to heal with you. How have you guys been doing? Have you been checking in with yourselves? First of all, do I really even have the luxury of asking that, considering your girl hasn't done a healing with feelings in forever? Your girl hasn't done a healing with feelings in forever. I think I'm gonna definitely do one after I record this video because I haven't checked in with you guys. And so the real thing is, have I checked in with myself? Questions we have to ask. Have I checked in with myself? Probably not, guys. Probably not. And I'm sorry about it, but I probably have not checked in with myself how I'm supposed to be checking in with myself. So that's definitely something I need to be working on. But I do hope you're working on it too. And I hope you've been checking in with yourself. I hope you've been kind to yourself. And I hope that whatever kind of healing journey that you're on, that you are just being nice to yourself and kind to yourself. Because one thing I've learned is that the enemy is going to always be after our peace. And while you're on this healing journey, obviously you're striving for peace. You're striving to be in peace. You're striving to get over whatever you had going on. And so I pray that, I pray that you're finding peace. And with that, if we could just say a little prayer before the beginning of this, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little heavy. I don't know why. I'm just a little heavy. So if we could just go into prayer. It's so crazy because I actually don't even know if I'm in focus. This was a tester, but even if I'm not, I'll just use this audio for the podcast part. Heavenly Father, we need you. We need you to, God, just destroy all type of chaos in our minds, in our hearts. God, any battles that we are facing that maybe we don't talk about, maybe we don't feel comfortable talking about, maybe honestly we just don't have a safe space to talk about, God, that we find a safe space within ourselves, and that for that moment even if it's just a little moment, God, that we have peace to find a safe space with ourselves to tackle the chaos, tackle the demons, tackle the thoughts, dear God, the thoughts that haunt us every day and night, dear God. I ask that you take them away right now. I stand against them, I rebuke them, and they are no longer welcome here. God, I ask you to welcome in peace. I ask you to welcome in sunshine, dear God, that even when the storms come, even when the battles come, dear God, that we are so peaceful and we are so at peace with ourselves and with our situations, dear God, that we're able to just wash down every single storm with our own storm of our own, a storm of peace, dear God, a storm of calmness, the peace over the storm. I pray that every ear listening to this takes something and takes some piece of healing and puts it inside of them and takes it forever, God. I pray that you just bring down the strongholds of anyone feeling like they're alone with their struggles and with their battles and feeling like they're never going to make it, feeling like they're never going to fully heal, dear God, feeling like this battle that they are struggling with will never be over. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And it is said and it is done in your name, because you are the way maker, dear God. And until you say it's good, it's not over. And we will stand on that. We will stand on you. We will stand on our firm foundation that is within you. God, I ask this in your name. I ask you to seal it up. And in your heavenly name, I say amen. Whew. All right. It would be really beautiful if I'm in frame. That would be amazing. So I'm gonna get up and see. And if not, we'll just be using the audio, because what's not gonna go to waste is that prayer. And yeah, then we'll get started. Guys, I'm so excited because it was absolutely in focus. Love that for me so much. I love that for y'all. I love that for me. Thank you, God. Hey guys, welcome back to the Just Healing Podcast. I pray I'm still in focus because that focus was just perfect. So let me make sure I am. I'd love to let you guys know that at this point we are in there. Okay, we in focus, we in there, we in this episode rolling, and it's about to go. It's about to go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Just Healing Podcast. I was trying to find my lip gloss to just kind of do that up a little bit more. Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can tell by this title, I really wanted to speak on the whole Love is Blind, Ashley, AD, and then I also wanted to speak on Jesse and Ricky's response and kind of just how all that transpired. As someone who, number one, is a huge Love is Blind fan, I love me some Love is Blind, but also a huge Jessie Boo. Y'all know I love me some Jessie Boo. It's just sister Jessie Woo. I love Jessie Woo. My kind of like goal, one of my goals is to be on her channel and just kind of share my story, because unfortunately I related to Liler and Ashley so well on Love is Blind, and it was very triggering. I would like to say that from episode 1 in the pods, I was literally telling my friends, I think I said this in my previous episode, I was telling my friends, not previous, but previous episode about Love is Blind, I was telling my friends, my sister, I was telling everybody, like, I don't trust Tyler in these pods. Like, something about him is giving love bomb-y. He seems like a liar. He seems like he's kind of giving these stories to make himself seem like a victim. It just was all too familiar for me, like all too familiar. And that's why even when I did my video about it, them actually filing for divorce or announcing their separation, because you had to wait 6 months to file, so announcing their separation, I was just really big on like, these were all the signs that he gave her, and that unfortunately, like many of us, she ignored. I personally did not fought Ashley for that, because like I said, it's very familiar to me. It's not foreign. I get it. Where I think we all as viewers looked at Ashley wrong was when she would particularly put the kids in there. I don't think that any child deserves to be talked about in a way that they just don't matter. So if him as the parent was doing that, I'm not going to say that's fine, but once again, as the viewers, I think when it kind of just became like, you know, them kids, them sperm babies, rather, for me, and I'm gonna get into the interview, but for me, even kind of her saying like, you know, well, that's how he referred to them. He referred to them as sperm babies. For me, I just kind of feel like, okay, but that doesn't mean you needed to. I'm gonna change my lighting so you guys see a shift. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't feel like that's what you needed to refer to them as, just because he was referring to them as that. Because again, you just met this man in pods. You don't know him, and I don't know, something just had to feel weird from the get-go, and she admitted that. So actually, let's just get into the interview so that I can just tell you guys my thoughts on it. So first, Ashley was on AD's The Reality podcast. AD is from the season before Ashley, I want to say. If we remember, AD was engaged to Clayton. Clayton ended up telling Ashley no at the altar after telling her multiple times how his daddy took him on cheating dates with him. No, cheating trips. They were trips. They went on trips where Clayton's father was cheating on his mother. That was wild to me. That whole season with Clayton, and just, it was wild. And then of course, Ashley is from the season with Tyler. And also AD did just announce her pregnancy kind of shortly after announcing her engagement to Ali, who was on the Love is Blind UK. So Ali and AD are now engaged and welcoming a baby soon. So that's exciting. I was happy to hear that. I feel like, you know, when two people want a child, especially, I think that it's always a beautiful time when people are bringing life into this world. I do think the timing was a little off of her announcement, because I'm just like, girl, people are not liking you right now. Maybe that was done intentionally, I don't know. But yeah, congratulations to them for the engagement as well as the bundle of joy coming into the world. Let's get into this interview. So they started off with AD asking Ashley pretty much what she misses most about being married. Y'all, starting off this interview, I just want to say, I literally said multiple times, Ashley, do not piss me off. Do not piss me off, because you're talking a little silly right now, and that's pissing me off. So Ashley, instead of saying, you know, I miss, I don't know, coming home to my husband, I miss having a husband, I miss having a partner, I miss having somebody at home, I don't know. Ashley let us know that what she misses most about being married is being in the Secret Wives Club. I would say I don't know what that is, but sadly I do. I feel that a lot of women, particularly, unfortunately, Black women, put themselves at this higher pedestal once they become wives. And this higher pedestal includes, not limited to, but includes definitely only having friends that are also married. What pisses me off the most about this Secret Wives Club is that it doesn't matter if these marriages are healthy. Child, sometimes these husbands be just a cheating and they be like, I'm still married, and I only got married friends because that's all I do. That's like, if you're single, you cannot be my friend. If you're not, like, and it gives two parts. It gives one, you think you're better because you're married, and it also gives a level of, you think I want your man. What the young people say, clock that T. Is it the hand, or is it? I think it's just this, clock that T. I don't want your man. I don't want your man. It is so disheartening that I feel when I was married, just different people, and it's obviously people who I'm not like friends with, but acquaintances with, but they treat you differently when you're married. Like, you know, you may get like a happy birthday, or, you know, you may get like, getting an invite wasn't really my thing because I don't think I knew enough married people where, like, you know, where I was living. But I've definitely seen it also done to other people where it's like you'll get invites to like parties, and on some instances I can see if something is obviously, you know, a couples trip. No, don't invite my single self to your couples trip, please. I don't want to be around y'all coupled up people with my single self. But if it's something like a birthday party and you're simply just not inviting me because I'm single, that's insane to me. But I feel like women do it all the time. And what it does is it creates this pedestal, and it creates this, I'm better than you. And I really don't, I feel like I am invincible when it comes to ever being single. And I just want to take your hand and hold it and tell you, baby girl, you're not invincible. You could be divorced tomorrow. Whether you get that divorce or not is on you, but your husband could be out cheating right now. You're not invincible. And just the way Ashley was talking, like how she was like, you know, I get treated better in the workforce. I miss my married friends. And I kind of made a reel, and I had said, I hated that she said I miss my married friends. And then I had to kind of take it back and say, if she would have said, I miss our couple friends, I think that's different, because I could totally understand the mourning of coupled friends when you're no longer married, especially if it's like one of those where obviously their divorce is very messy. If it's a friend where, you know, he came in with, maybe, you know, that friend is telling his wife like, hey, I don't want you talking to her no more, even though it's like, who you telling who I'm gonna talk to if it's a female and I'm not cheating on you? But anyway, you know how it goes. I can see where you would miss your married friends if they were coupled friends, but she specifically said, I miss the married wives, which tells me that they were part of this little clique, or they're like, we are better than every other woman who is not married. And it's like, look at you now, baby, you're divorced. I don't wish divorce on anybody. However, I do feel like when you put yourself up on that pedestal, sometimes you will get knocked down, and God will do it sometimes in just the most destructive ways. I can honestly say, as an ex-wife, I never put myself on that pedestal, but I also didn't think that highly at all of my marriage. Like, it wasn't, I just didn't think highly of it. Whatever. But yeah, I just feel like she perfectly described women who put themselves on high pedestals because they're married. Then they went into talking about Tyler, of course, why we're here. She started off by saying that Tyler is a pathological liar. I appreciated her for that, because there's definitely a level of when you're a liar and when you just like lie about everything. And I think that for me, that's why watching this season was so triggering, because I could see that he was lying from everything from the pots. Like, he just did not come off as a honest person. Like, he just didn't come off as honest. He came off as making up sob stories. He came off as, just kind of woe is me, and none of it seemed believable. And so I'm glad that she was able to recognize that he's a pathological liar. She also said that a lot of the things she found on her own, on her computer. I don't know how much I believe that, only because it was out on the internet, Bookie Butt. Like, we all seen it on the internet, so that's probably where you've seen it too. Yes, she may have seen extra things. Like, I know she said she's seen a Google Meets call that they did, him and Bri, which is the mother of the children. She did say that she's seen a Google Meets call that they did. So things like that, I'm sure she did see. But I think when it came to the nitty gritty, like, you were seeing it on such as podcasts as Jessie Woo, who, unfortunately, like it or not, that's where you were getting your information, because that's where the information was. Like, unless you went through his computer and you seen, the motions or the court filings or any of that on your own, most of this stuff I really feel like you were getting from Jessie, which obviously you were watching because you had something to say about her commentary. So I didn't feel that was all the way honest, but what do I know? It did kind of frustrate me that she said that she didn't really want to tell his part for him. I'm like, girl, you're not telling his part, you're telling your part. So the same reason why you're crying because, you feel like YouTubers are bullying you and stuff, you could really did all that right now by speaking on this man, because at the end of the day, you can be classy and still speak on somebody. You can be classy and still clear your name. You can be classy and still tell your truth, because you're either going to do it or you're not. So you're obviously on the podcast to tell your side, but you're not really telling your side. All right, so after Ashley kind of told us, y'all, I changed my lighting again. Obviously, the first one, that was T. I'm probably going to play out the whole clocking thing, so I should probably just stop now. I've done it twice. That's good. We're good, Jazz. We see you clock it. We see you know what that means. We're good. No, for real. So after Ashley said that he was a pathological liar, and after she let us know that she did go through his laptop and seen some calls from Bree, that was really all she told us she found. And she was just like, like, it was just a really messy situation. Well, girl, obviously he was sleeping with his lesbian best friend at the time where he was also engaged and she was married. Like, yes, it was messy. What else do you think you're telling us? Like, I just don't understand how much more messier it could have been, personally. But maybe she knows something we don't know. Maybe this is actually a time where Ashley knows something we don't know, but I'm just over here like, am I missing something? Like, sis, how much more messier can it be? So, yeah, she told us that, and then ultimately she ended up saying that she personally is just way too classy, and she doesn't really feel right. She wouldn't feel like she is being her classy self if she were to call out Tyler for what he was doing. I am totally against this rhetoric. If you guys don't know, for probably about the last year and a half, I have opened up about my story of abuse and really being an abuse survivor. And if it's nothing I'm doing any longer, it's protecting that man. Because very much so, like Lila and Ashley, you didn't protect me. So what do I look like protecting you when you took me through hell? You know, I don't know all the hell she went through. Maybe it wasn't that much, but the public humiliation alone would have me not protecting you. Because again, what am I protecting you for when you did not do the same for me? You didn't even think to do the same for me. You actually came into this experiment knowing what you knew, and you still continue to play in my face. And with that, I just have to say it was a little confusing, because again, it's not like this is a man who protected you. It's not like this is a man who, you know, you guys are on good speaking terms and really just trying to get through this divorce. Like, no, he's still making this difficult for you, even though he knows he's the reason you guys are even in this divorce situation in the first place. Child, ain't nothing like a narcissist. Let me tell you something. When you are with a narcissist, any bullcrap is possible. That's all I'm gonna say. When you are with a narcissist, expect any bullcrap where you would literally be like, is this really happening? Yes, it is. And they're not sorry for it. And so for you to get onto someone's platform and podcast and, you know, kind of be clearing your name, but not really, because you're still protecting his name, it's just crazy to me. Anyway, I digress. She then did go on to kind of give an apology to Bri. It wasn't the most genuine apology. I do feel like she did say like anything that, you know, you said that was true. It was something like anything you said that was true that I, you know, went against, I apologize. I kind of think ultimately we really don't know anybody's side. Honestly, I mean, we really don't even know Tyler's side. He's a liar, so we're probably never gonna know his side. But even when it comes to Bri, you know, I'm sure there are things that we don't fully know, because we also have to understand that Bri was a lesbian and admitted that, you know, even sleeping with Tyler was embarrassing because she was a mask presenting lesbian. She wasn't bisexual, she was a lesbian. So, yeah, we don't really know what was true, what she said. But I still feel like kind of giving that half apology was a little like, you could have did better with that apology, girl. You could have did better. And then what else did she talk about? So she did admit that she found out that Tyler seen the kids a day before he left for the show. I want to say that's something Bryce said also, but maybe she found it out when she went through the computers. I don't know. Another thing she said that was really interesting was that Tyler was perfect on the show, which I could ultimately truly believe, even when the whole sperm babies came out on the couch, obviously they were still filming. That would have been kind of a weird one for me. But like she said, at that time she just could go with what he was saying was happening, and that was that. So she did say though that she seen the first red flag 1 month into marriage. And to this I say this, to that I say this, I totally get it. I get being in a marriage with someone, or in my case, it was having a child with someone. In my case, I felt like I had definitely seen the red flags, but at the point I seen the red flags, I was already with child. Well, I was carrying the child. Yes, I could have left at that point. However, in some of these situations, especially when you're carrying someone's child, especially not even knowing what I know now, then I'm like, imagine the hell I would have went through carrying this child for this stranger and going through all this hell to, you know, be a mom, really. Um, but I totally understand being married and in your first month, you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the same person I married. And unfortunately, it starts off as one red flag. And then those, before you know it, you're sitting up with the United Nations around your home. Before you know it, you are quite literally sleeping with the enemy. Which brings me to my next point. She said when they went on the reunion, which I have to believe that even though she said she didn't know anything on the reunion, I have to believe she knew something. Because number one, she said she asked him, I don't know if she said they were like in the green room, but it was definitely like the right before filming for the reunion. She said she took his hand, she put out her hands like this, and she said, am I sleeping with the enemy? And she said he reassured her that no, she is not, and that he loves her so much. And so she went out and she went to bat for her man on the reunion. I also think that's when the audience, the viewers, kind of took a turn for Ashley, because it was like, okay, before the reunion, you know, she wasn't saying anything online, but I think all the viewers were like, well, maybe she's waiting, because by this time, at least Bry's mom somebody had came out. I want to say it was Bry's mom had came out and showed pictures of him and the kids for the holidays, showed that shirt where he had on like dad or something like that. And so I just feel like we as the viewers are like, well, if we seen this, where you at? You're tagged in this stuff, like you're hashtagged. So it's actually easier for you to see it than it is for us to see it. So why are you not seeing it? And I think that is when Ashley kind of became the villain just along with them, because as a viewer, it kind of just looked like y'all both got on that stage and was like, F them kids. F them kids, we don't care. We don't care. And we know they're not sperm babies, but even with that, we don't care. And I don't think anybody appreciated that. And I think it's also one of those times where you have to think, if you were in Bry's situation, if those were your kids, would you want someone on TV being like, oh yeah, that's just those sperm babies? And one of them does look like him, but yeah, they're just sperm babies. Like, that's disrespectful, you know? And ultimately, it's just a slap in the face to the kids. Like, and they're going to see it. They're going to see it. And they're going to wonder, why did these grown people, sperm baby or not, why did they bring us into this world to kind of just, you know, poop on us? So yeah, then what else did Ashley ask her? I mean, Eddie asked her. Oh, then that's kind of when they went into Jessie Woo. So this is a good little segue. So they went into Jessie Woo. So AD said something along the lines of, there's just this loud presence on the internet. You know who I'm talking about. And then Ashley was like, yeah, you know, it's just really, you know, pretty much disheartening that it's coming from Black women. And then AD was like, yeah, like, you know, it's coming from in the house. It's coming from in the house, which I later learned that in the house means Black people. So in the house is like Black people are talking about other Black people. And they said that Jessie Woo and Ricky pretty much used the kids to act like they were concerned about the kids and use that to pretty much clickbait and clout chase for views. First off, I don't think Jesse, nor Ricky, honestly, but I more so am a viewer of Jesse, but I don't think Jesse really ever has to clickbait. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you watch if you just watch one of Jesse's video, Jesse will make any and everything Black women related. So it'll be Black Women's Tea Month, Black Women's Mother's Day month. Like, she puts Black women in front of everything. Jessie Woo loves Black women. And so when they started kind of saying like it's from the house, that's when I kind of was just like, you guys are a little loud and wrong. You guys are a little loud and wrong. Also, I think it's fair to say that even during AD's season, Jesse didn't say anything bad about AD. Jesse simply said what all of us were saying. Clay did not want you. So even the whole, thing that went on at the altar, like, none of us were shocked because Clay didn't want you. He didn't show that he wanted you during the whole show. And I feel like she didn't really say anything bad about AD. Jesse Woo had even said when AD got engaged and announced her engagement, like, Jessie Woo was so happy for her. Like, she was literally just like, again, a Black woman came out on the other side. Like, she got her true happy ending, because Jessie's whole thing too is like how these shows really do play in Black women's faces, and how rarely Black women get a happy ending. I think the only real Black women that have gotten happy endings from Love is Blind is probably Lauren from Lauren and Cameron, Tiffany from Brett and Tiffany. I think that's about it. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. And so, also shout out to Lauren and Cam. They announced their pregnancy from a very daunting, long IVF journey. My heart truly goes out to all of the IVF women battling with fertility. I was telling my best friend today that I just truly wish there was a way that if a woman wanted to have a baby, that just was never an issue. I just feel like God created us to create. He created the female autonomy to reproduce. And so seeing women battle with fertility has just become like kind of a real new just heartbreaker for me. It hits very close to home, and I just hate it. I hate it, but I am very happy for Lauren and Cam, and just appreciate them for even including us in their journey, because I also recognize that it can be really hard to share with anyone that you are battling with fertility. I've never personally battled with it, but I can just imagine the agony that comes behind that. So big congrats to them. Cannot wait to see baby Hamilton. Back to AD Ashley though. And so yeah, they called Jesse and Ricky disgusting, and just ultimately I feel called them out and didn't call out anybody else who was talking about y'all. And that was, I think, the part that was a little irritating, because it's almost like you're saying that they are attacking Black women, but you're actually attacking Black women by calling them non-journalists. Like, both of them actually have degrees in journalism. I don't know if Ricky just has her bachelor's, but I know for sure Jessie has her master's in journalism. So even down to calling them fake journalists, you know, Jesse has obviously been on Ricky Smiley's morning show, and just doing this for a really long time. And I just don't think it's fair to go with the whole, oh, they're just social media journalists, when you feel it's convenient for you. That's just not fair. Then okay, I'm gonna come back with Jesse's comeback. I'm just finished this interview off because there's only a couple other things I gotta say. Then Ashley pretty much said maybe 3 or 4 times how much she usually just has such good discernment, and she is just kind of so good at discerning, and she's so wise. Can I tell you what I say to that? I can honestly say that before my ex, I was not good at discernment. I didn't have any boundaries with my empathy. I feel like I felt bad for anybody. And unfortunately, when you're like that, you are just the prime person that a narcissist is like, come here, baby. I want you. You know that one sound that be like, hey, my name is, that don't matter. That don't matter. I feel like that is what a narcissist thinks about an empath, and they can just sniff you from miles away. And so I would have never been the one to say like I had discernment and I was just so wise. I wasn't. Now I am. But you want to know what that also came from? That simply comes from me literally praying every single day, God, give me discernment for my next relationship. Give me discernment for my next friendship. Give me discernment for my next job. God, give me discernment for any doors that I'm walking into. As much as I love my church, I love my church down. Give me discernment for that too. Like, I have prayed the prayer of discernment so that this type of relationship never finds me again. I've prayed for discernment so that this type of man never finds me again. I want, if the kind of man that I was with ever tries to even look at me, he looks at me and he sees a cockroach. I want to look like a cockroach to him, because no, I don't want it. And I just think I just think to speak so highly of yourself when obviously all the work hasn't been done, and none of our work has all been done. My work hasn't even all been done. I wouldn't even sit here and speak highly of myself. I'm going to speak of the work has been done so far, but I think to, you know, just say how wise you are and just how much you see discernment. It's like, we can see, sis, that that's not the case, and it's okay. It's okay. I thought that's why you were on this show anyway, to literally speak your truth. And then she pretty much ended the podcast with saying her DMs are open but come like ready made. So I don't know. Instead of saying come ready made, girl, you better get on your knees and pray for discernment. Cause telling them to come ready made, I don't know how that's gonna pan out for you. I hope well, but I don't know. Anyway, let me end this off with Jesse, Woo, and Ricky. Y'all, Jesse is so freaking funny to me. I have to get this knitter clip in here, because Jesse, when she says you're a knitter and she plays this clip, this is this is a little off the record, off the board of what we're talking about, but it takes me back to that episode of Arthur. And Arthur is having this nightmare. He's in like this pilgrim suit, and they are all calling him a knitter. And I just can't help but to believe at my big age of 34 what they were really calling him in this nightmare, because we all know that Arthur was African American. That's crazy to me. Jessie, I can tell Jessie honestly was just hurt, which as she should be, because it was unwarranted smoke. Like, she literally only gave Ashley the same smoke that Ashley gave the viewers, because the thing about it is, you're talking about these children like they're not children, and that's just not fair. Um Also, Jessie did show where she even messaged AD before she even went live. She messaged AD just to, I think, make sure, like, was I tripping or were you coming for me? And I think when AD didn't reply, she like, all right, bet you were coming for me. That's the only way I can take it. You were coming for me. Jessie let her have it. She let both of them have it, as she should, as she rightfully should. I honestly feel like Jessie brought up a really good point about AD. In AD's season, I think her name was Laura. Laura and her husband, but Laura in particular had this thing where it was like flicking the bean. First of all, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. Most of my friends, like who I spend time with, are African American. We don't play flicking the bean. We don't play touching on each other. We all learned at very, very early ages we don't do that. So we don't. However, they played this game and Laura was like, yeah, we flicked the bean. And it was AD's boob. I honestly feel like from the moment they seen AD, they over sexualized her so much on that show. And she just let it happen. I don't feel like AD or Ashley, even though they talk about this whole in the house and black women, neither one of them, but especially AD, just doesn't give me like black woman lover. She gives me like, I want to be friends with everyone, and that's okay, but there's a level of what you take from other people, especially other cultures, so that you can feel accepted. And that's just what AD gives me. That's just my opinion. And so yeah, Jessie Woo brought that up, and ultimately, Jessie and them just kind of stood on everything they said. Like, we didn't say any lies. Like, pretty much everything that we even said, she got up here and said, yeah, they were right. She didn't say they were right. She said she found it on her own. But yeah, it was interesting. I'm glad that Jessie and Ricky did respond. Also, is it just me? So I didn't know that Kinetic gave AD that podcast. I truly believe that Kinetic gave her that podcast, but more so than that, convinced Ashley to come on, and that's how they're going to start this feud between two black women. We all know Kinetic and Chris Collins, whoever he is, does not mess with Jessie Woo at all. And I just feel that they knew that getting this type of, dialogue started on this platform, because it was also just so unwarranted, the whole, and there's just a loud presence on the internet. Like, it was just like, that was very unwarranted. Like, that seemed like it was a little like scripty. Like, put this in the script. Make sure you say this. Do not leave this out. If you leave this out, you're no longer gonna have a podcast, ma'am. I don't know. I just think it's definitely an easy way to pit black women against each other. But let me know you guys' thoughts. If you watched, let me know if you feel AD asked the right questions. I personally don't think she did. There was a time where like AD was like, hey, I want you to be honest. But as an interviewer, that's all she really could do. I don't know if Ashley was really ready to speak out. I don't know if she'll ever be ready to speak out. I also can say that since Ashley literally was filing the day the interview came out, meaning they filmed it beforehand, she may have been holding things back, because let me tell y'all something. divorcing a narcissist is crazy. And so she may have been holding things back because she like, hey, let me get these divorce papers signed, then I'll be back and I'll tell y'all whatever y'all want to know. Who knows? I hope that's maybe the, path she's coming from. What else? Is there anything else? Jesse Will did offer to interview Tyler because he said he wants to get on anybody's platform and tell his truth. I don't know what this truth is. Unfortunately with pathological liars, they have a way of making up even more stuff, getting us even deeper into this. So I don't know. But she did say he'd come on, but he would have to tell the truth. And that it would be her and Ricky. And I do feel that if anybody can get the truth out of him, it'll be them. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Let me know if you guys watched. And what you feel. Also, let me know what you guys feel about the Secret Wives Society, because that is really a thing that I just want to not be a thing. If you're not following me on my socials, be sure to do so at Just Healing Podcast. So that's JUSTHEALINGPODCAST on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. And if you want to follow my personal page, that is Girl That's J Kyle, GIRLJAYKYLE, and that's on Instagram, TikTok, and that's it. Instagram and TikTok. And I look forward to talking to you guys in my next episode. Bye. What is this? Girl, just do a peace sign.